Hello, my name is Kelsey St. John, and today we're going to be talking about budgets. So most companies use strict budgets to measure the performances of their companies, and they also help to manage their personnel. So in this presentation, I'll be discussing why, as a society, we need to move away from having strict budgets and focus on alternative goals that help empower the front lines of our companies. Alright, so budgets started in the 1920s as a way for companies to help keep track of where their money was going and how much that they were spending. But in the 1960s, it changed into more of a contract that told management and their personnel what, how, and when they were going to do things. We can see that the evolution of dictating how companies acted in the 60s transformed to trying to incentivize their employees and managers with meeting certain aspects of their budgets, and that came about in the 70s. But unfortunately, by doing that to our budgets, it forced the managers of the companies to become more obsessed with meeting those goals to where they no longer tried new tactics or new ideas. They just stuck to what they knew worked. Now we have a tight budgetary control on all of our companies with no new innovation or new ideas coming into the workforce. So, adhering to the strict budgets might have been a good idea when it started, but now many of the companies have found that it has a tendency to discourage our frontline workers at the companies and makes it so that the companies have a much slower response that are happening in our economy, in the markets, just as well. While it is extreme, though, making people adhere to some of the stricter budgets with their jobs on the line could lead to a breakdown in the ethics of the company and could lead to problems with making false reports or false claims to make sure that they get the budget that they need. So some alternatives to the strict budgets that we can have are, instead of making companies adhere to them, we can have measures of successes like cost-to-income ratios, and instead of judging people's performances on how well either they came in budget or under budget, we can judge them based on their peers and the workers of other companies as to how well the company itself is doing. And a lot of the companies around the world nowadays, mainly overseas, but they're using these different standards of performances, and they have been able to decrease their unit sizes, making to adapt to the changes in their economy, and they're actually better off in the long run and have the long run goals. So, if companies no longer are using budgets to determine where the resources are going to be directed or allocated, the managers of the company have that, they can move their products, or they can get what they need faster, and they can get the resources that they need faster, which helps with the changes in the current economy. By not adhering to the stricter budgets, managers have stated that they have saved 95% of their time that would have spent trying to maintain their budget and helping the rest of their company, helping their people, and bettering their outcomes. And since managers have more discretion in their decision making, they can also get the resources quicker and actually tend to save the company more money in the long run. And there was 1998 that showed most of the companies spent 25,000 hours trying to stick to their budget and more than $1 billion in managing the budget. And now they don't have to do that, so they have another $1 billion they can allocate to other resources, and again that $25,000 of people hours that they can also allocate to other resources. So in conclusion, we have companies that have removed the strict budgeting style, have more adaptability, they save money, and have a better long-term outcomes than those who stick to the strict budgeting that is currently running our markets. Thank you.